we're gonna be taking a look at some never before seen footage, or as I like to call it, barely before seen footage. Footage that has obviously been seen by someone before, but some serious digging had to take place in order for that to have been possible. Kinda like what I had to do a couple days ago in order to find this, even though it was more unintentional. The other day, I put on the most random movie just so it can play in the background while I do something else, and it resulted in me discovering some pretty rare LeVar Ball footage. And the reason I have no problem calling it rare is because I'm pretty sure even the general public barely knows about this movie, let alone the NBA community. Otherwise, somebody would have definitely brought this to our attention by now if they knew who LeVar Ball was. The movie is called Freshman Fall, also known as She Cried No, which is a made-for-television film that premiered back in 1996. I only put it on because I noticed that it starred DJ from Full House and Zach from Saved by the Bell. At about the 1 hour mark, I thought someone looked very familiar in the background of this gym scene. To me, it looks a lot like LeVar Ball.
Hey, who are you chasing? Someone just like me. But I'm through running.
It's currently streaming on Amazon Prime Video and on Tubi as we speak, if you want to judge it for yourself. When LeVar began making headlines back in 2017 due to his bold statements, people immediately started looking into his past, and what we found out was that he played college basketball for Washington State in 1987, and then eventually went on to become a practice squad member for the New York Jets and for the Carolina Panthers in 1995, but never played in an official NFL game. Combine that with the fact that somebody uploaded some old footage of LeVar playing in a rec league game back in 2002, we thought that was pretty much the extent of his past and that we weren't gonna find anything else. But I guess this somehow slipped through the cracks. Remember, all those appearances he made on TV came after he gained notoriety due to the success of his sons. But this was way before any of them were even born. The fact that this movie was filmed in LA, which is where LeVar is from, the fact that it looks like he was wearing a football shirt, and the fact that he became a personal trainer after football didn't work out, all seem to point to the fact that it has to be him. Everything seems to check out. What makes this whole thing even crazier is the fact that Lonzo made an appearance on Fuller House back in 2017 and acted in a scene alongside the exact same girl, Candace Cameron Bure.
It's always open.
Lonzo Ball of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Steve Hale of the Bay Area Podiatry Association.
Little do we know at the time that his dad worked with her too, long before that. I wonder if LeVar and Candace even realizes it. Do you guys think it even registered to them? It's crazy to think that she had no idea that she would eventually work with this guy's son years later, who was just a random background extra to her at the time, walking right past him. I believe I'm the only one on the internet to point this out, and again, I'm not surprised, because how many people can say they've seen this movie and at the same time is also aware of LeVar Ball's existence? And with the recent news of LeVar losing his foot after a serious medical issue, it's awfully ironic that the main focus of this scene was actually Lonzo's foot. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I like to revisit the moment certain players were drafted, just to reminisce on where it all began. But I lost all hope of ever being able to go back and watch a 3-time MVP get drafted, Nikola Jokic, because I've been repeatedly told over and over that his name was unfortunately called during a Taco Bell commercial, which obviously nobody cared at the time with it taking place in the second round and all.
You were the 41st pick in the draft. A Taco Bell commercial was running when your pick was announced. What do you think of that now?
They believe in the fat boy, and it seems like it worked out. Yeah, don't bet against the fat boy.
But just because they ran a Taco Bell commercial for the people who are watching the draft at home doesn't mean that that's what the people who are actually there had to watch. There has to be footage of that moment somewhere, right? Well, sure enough, there is.
With the 41st pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Nikola Jokic from Sombor, Serbia. He last played for Mega Vizura in Serbia.
I didn't even know that this footage existed until recently, because I thought, what's the point of even looking for it when all that's gonna pop up is this Taco Bell commercial? Once Jokic became a superstar, only then did they put in the effort to find it. Here's another piece of footage that was locked away for a while and has only recently resurfaced. You see, apparently a fan illegally taped a Chicago Bulls game from his courtside seat when he wasn't supposed to, and ended up capturing some pretty interesting footage of Michael Jordan going at it with a fan. During a regular season matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers on November 9th, 1995, a courtside heckler made a big mistake. He decided to taunt Michael Jordan, but he didn't just criticize Jordan's game, he went after his shoes, the iconic Air Jordan 11 Concords.
I like the old shoes. Go back to the old one. You were better.
Now Jordan didn't say much, making us think that maybe he didn't hear the guy, but as the game went on, it became apparent that he did. Because after this shot, you can see Jordan pointing at the heckler and then starts yelling at him. Jordan would go on to score 23 points after the fan said that, and when the game was pretty much over, Jordan looked right at him and did this, giving him some advice: don't poke the bear. This was supposed to be a trash talking story that we only hear about, but thanks to this fan who decided to bring his camcorder, we got a front row seat to it. Literally. Speaking of footage from the sideline, there's a very similar angle of the shot in the exact same building, funny enough. It's always weird to see another view of something that you're so used to only watching from one angle, especially when it comes to this shot. For the longest time, this was pretty much the only angle they provided. But have you ever wondered what the shot looked like from this guy's point of view? Like many of you, I thought Magic Johnson was done playing basketball after his 1996 season with the Lakers. But did you know that he actually played overseas in Sweden just 3 years later in 1999? Magic briefly joined a team that competed in the Swedish League, which had been renamed in his honor after he invested in the club. His involvement was part of a promotional effort to boost basketball's popularity in Sweden. As he explained in this tweet, Magic was 40 years old at the time, playing in a total of 5 games, where they would go undefeated during that span, which included Magic scoring 30 points in one of the games and was able to dish out 11 assists within the first 3 minutes of another, drawing significant media attention and large crowds in the process. But unfortunately, the team went bankrupt after he left the next year. Although his time in Sweden was short-lived, it created memorable moments for Swedish basketball fans. I never thought I would see Magic playing in another uniform, just like I never thought I would see a player get into a shoving match with a team official.
I'm gonna do this thing. Come on, my nigga. Fucking security. Get your motherfucking security man.
Got a fight back here.
We've seen instances certainly come close to this, and have even heard stories of a lot worse, but this isn't some urban legend, as we finally get to see video of something like this, instead of having to just take someone's word for it.
Vince Carter and I never, ever, ever had a physical confrontation. Ever.
You know, scoop slam, it's over with. I won.
While some of you might not consider this last one to be rare, I've never seen this clip of Michael Jordan reacting to LeBron's decision to join Miami, so it is to me.
Is the NBA better off for this big player shuffle we just saw this past week?
That's yet to be determined. I think, it's no way that, just hindsight, I would have never, called up Larry, called up Magic and say, hey, let's get together and play on one team. In all honesty, I was trying to beat those guys. I don't know if they would have been on my team. If we'd been on our team, obviously, when you look at the Dream Team, they were on my team, and it wasn't too much of a competitive thing. I'm a competitive guy, and, I like to play against competitive players and, see what happens from there.
All right, good luck to you and the Bobcats this season.
Thanks.